What is the importance of conscious information analysis or CIA? CIA literally means becoming conscious, becoming aware of the information that the stimuli contains, and using that information, reading that information, and analyzing it to create a better response. Everything we deal with has to do with the information we have or we receive. And for example, right now, I'm talking to you and you're listening to me. So, I'm exchanging ideas. I'm giving you some information. Now, this information, once enters into your brain, it reaches the automatic system and then, it goes through a filtration process and then you interpret the world. So, if the filters in your automatic system, if those filters are wrong, if those filters are false, you will misinterpret the information that I am giving you. So, how does our brain misinterpret the information? For example, ever since we were born into this world, we were learning, we were exploring, we were, getting new informations, and all these new informations were registered in our brain as filters. For example, imagine, when you saw the dog for the first time, you were so fascinated because that's a good-looking four-legged animal. It's really awesome. And when you looked at it, your mommy says, "Dear boy, that's a dog," right? So you registered that information in your brain. Okay, good looking, four-legged animal, it's friendly, and its name is dog. Your friends, your family members, everybody said, that's a dog. So that information becomes strengthened and now it becomes a filter. Now you look at the world through that filter, and everywhere when you see a dog, that's a dog. You don't have to panic, you don't have to learn again, you don't have to worry about anything, because you can now look at that information and easily interpret it. So our automatic system contains all these filters that we received when we were kids, and now we look at this world through these filters, through these lenses, and we interpret according to the filters that we received as a kid. So the problem is, what would happen if those filters were wrong? For example, imagine you saw the dog for the first time in your life, and when you looked at it, instead of saying, that's a dog, your mommy says, "Oh dear, that's not a dog, that's a cat," right? So your friends, your family members, everybody said, "That's a cat." And the information that entered in your brain was, okay, good looking four-legged animal, that is a cat, right? And no matter who says, no matter where you go, you always see the dog as a cat. Otherwise, you call it a cat because that is the information you received. So, we have this automatic system which contains all the filters that we received as kids and through which we, interpret the world around us. Now, my question is, what would happen if these filters are wrong? When I was in the fourth standard, I enrolled in a song. And I stood on the stage and, I wanted to be smart, intelligent, I wanted to show off in front of others. And I want to tell everybody that I can sing. And as I stood there, there were around 500 students. And I stood there breathing heavily and I began to sing the first lyrics. And then suddenly somebody from behind shouted at me. And I was a little bit frightened because somebody was shouting at me, and I thought, my god, my voice isn't really good. But I took all the courage and began to sing again. But then a lot of other kids began to shout and I couldn't just resist. I just stood there looking at those 500 students and I just began to breathe heavily. And then for a minute more, I stood and left the stage and never approached the stage again for the next 10 years. That information, once entered my brain, it defined my reality. That information told me, going to the stage is painful. You don't have the talent to sing. So never approach an audience. Don't. It's painful. It's struggle. You don't have talent. You are not intelligent. You're not smart. That information was hunting me. It was controlling me all those times until I rewired that information. But with the conscious information analysis, you can edit your filters. You can remove the wrong filters, the false filters, and you can add more better filters that can, literally give you access to the possibilities that's available out there. You don't have to, worry about anymore. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to just panic. You don't have to just run away from your life. You can rewrite your story. You can redesign your story with the conscious information analysis. The method is simple. All you have to do is being conscious, being aware of the information that's being presented to you, and then reading that information, analyzing that information will give you access to create a better response. And with the CAA method, you can now rewrite your story. So if you want to know for further details about how we can really use the CIA method in our daily life and rewrite our history, you can just click the link below and you will get all the information from our website.